This is the Muddy Boots Podcast, a podcast for those who have been or are stuck in the mud. Building a community of those who are with each other all the way. Well, welcome. This is the Muddy Boots Podcast. We're so glad to be back with you. We're here back at the Clark Family YMCA.
Yes, we are.
It's a beautiful place. This is a nice background. It's a little colder outside now.
Yeah, it's kind of rainy and nasty.
Yeah. Although it was fun doing those last two in your backyard.
It will, and we'll do those again when the days are nice.
Right. And the squirrels are out.
And the squirrels are out.
Man, they're in high demand over there at the.
Boy, I'll tell you that was. I apologize. I know I was distracted, but how could I not? I was watching it was like a National Geographic episode happen.
Yeah, well,
right in front of me. I couldn't believe it.
I couldn't get you focused back on me. I was trying to tell stories. I was trying
I
to.
know.
Man,
I apologize.
I forgave you the moment you started doing that, Roger.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Much in the way that beaver forgave me.
Yes.
I've forgiven you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. If you don't know the context to our conversation right now, go back and listen to episode 4.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Exactly. Yes.
So here we are,
Uh-huh.
and we. I do want to give a shout out. They're no longer sponsoring our podcasts as far as like a corporate sponsor,
Right.
But just thanking Washington Trust Bank, they made it possible for us to do those first 4,
Exactly.
and I'm grateful for that.
And because of that, we've had a number of individuals and people step up, and we're self-sufficient, but we are always looking for another corporate sponsor so we can shout out to them.
Sure. If anything, just to give some, exposure to them and
Exactly.
and to help the community see, that there's a lot of organizations in our neck of the woods that want to help.
Yep, exactly.
Want to do good things.
Yeah.
So here we are. The Dolphins are still doing well.
That's good.
Yeah, I told you, I said it in faith, but I knew
Yeah, you did.
that this would happen.
You did.
So
Yeah. The Bears aren't.
sorry.
I know, but it's my lot in life.
Yeah.
I didn't choose them. They chose me. I was born in Chicago, so I didn't have a choice.
Understood. Understood.
Much in the same way you were born in Miami.
No, I wasn't.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah,
Roger. I'm glad. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was born in Southern California.
Yeah.
For those viewers who don't know that.
Yeah.
Fountain Valley, to be exact, raised in Huntington Beach.
Which is right next door to Miami. So you can...
Could be closer.
A suburb of Miami. Yeah.
Do I have to now tell the story behind why I'm a Miami Dolphins fan?
I don't think so.
Well, I feel like I should. If you brought it up. And,
all right, go ahead.
Okay, so in my middle school and high school years, my mom had a boyfriend who was a Miami Dolphins fan. Oh. And these were my years of picking teams and deciding who I was going to root for and all those types of things. Huntington Beach didn't have a team, right? I don't like college football, so I wasn't going to go UCLA, right? So I decided I get to pick a team. I'm not picking Seattle just because I'm in Washington. I'm going to choose the team of this person who is, in my childhood.
So L.A. didn't have a team at the time?
LA did not specifically have a team at the time, no.
What specifically?
Well, there were the San Diego Chargers.
Yeah, but that's not L.A.
Right.
That's San Diego.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would have been the
LA Chargers, which they are now.
Words are important.
But that wasn't the case then.
No.
The Rams were not in LA.
No.
They were in St. Louis.
Yes.
Right? And the only close team from there was up north, which would have been the
San Francisco
49ers or the Oakland Raiders, which was definitely not going to be my choice, Roger.
Okay.
For numerous reasons.
Mainly because it wasn't close to Miami.
Yes.
I see. It's all making sense.
I thought so.
Yeah.
So,
good to know.
What are we talking about today?
Well, it's kind of funny because we're in the middle. We're in the middle of the campaign, campaign. It started November 1st and it's going through November 22nd. And my really good friend Phil, who was the vice president of philanthropy and always said, you can't spell philanthropy without Phil, has left the Y for very good reasons, and hopefully he'll come back when everything's better. But anyway, so I've renamed this the 2023 Community Campaign Anthropy Edition because we don't have Phil.
Okay. Is that real? Is this a real thing?
Well, it's the 2023 Community Campaign.
Yeah.
I just threw the other stuff in there.
Have you actually used that, or is this the first time?
I tell people that. Oh yeah. No.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's so Roger.
Yeah. Well,
Anthropy.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, anthropy would actually be a thing, right?
Yeah, it's a Greek word.
Okay. What is it?
See, philanthropy is love of man, right? Philo, love, anthropon, man. So, anthropy is a form of man.
Right. So it's still a full word, is what I'm saying. I'm saying you took out the
yeah, I did.
Prior word.
They were combined.
Right.
It was a combination word. I just uncommoned it.
Right. Classic.
I
appreciate you.
Well, thank you.
Talk a little bit about this campaign because now you're in charge of it.
Yeah, because Tyler, when he mentioned that Phil was leaving the organization, he told everybody, he goes, I'm taking over the campaign. I'm taking over philanthropy. I'm taking over the campaign. And we all go, okay. And he goes, Roger, you're running it. So when Tyler says he's doing something, he means Roger's doing it. Okay. So, yeah. So it's destined to fail.
How's it?
I'm sorry. It's like, okay, we the unwilling have been led by the unqualified for so long, we now attempt the impossible with utterly nothing. Yeah, that's this one.
So let me ask you a question then.
Sure.
Let's start it out with this.
Yeah.
Many people don't know that the YMCA is a nonprofit that many of the programs are actually run because people donate.
Oh, absolutely.
Many people don't know that.
No, absolutely. The reason actually that Tyler asked me to run this is because I'm not sure if I'm the top campaigner for a number of years. You know this, being on my board and everything else. I was actually a self-funded volunteer. I had to raise all my own compensation plus whatever I wanted to do in the organization, right? If I wanted to I give out free camps for Camp Collins for those that needed free swim lessons, feeding kids, ... It all came from people that came alongside me. And so that's how that worked. I wasn't actually operationalized, I think, until like 2018, maybe.
Wow.
Yeah. From 2006 to 2018, I was raising my own stuff. So that was pretty much it. And when we talk about campaign, and I'm it's the stories, right? You come into right relationship with people, you tell a story, present a need, and I say I let God make the ask. Basically, that's another way of saying I let them say, how can I help? And I don't define what that is, right?
Right.
And I let them tell me. And so, and then I've had some, I guess, success doing it that way, to put it, But the thing of it is it's not hard. It really isn't hard because the Y has so many amazing, amazing stories of hope and healing that when you tell the story, people naturally want to come alongside you. And it's not like you're trying to manipulate them or anything. You're just you're telling the truth.
Right.
We do a lot of really, really great things. Most of us are so busy doing them, they don't even take the time to realize how they're positively impacting the community that they live in and those that come in and use the Y. And so, and I know most people don't know. I'd like to tell a couple of stories.
I think that'd be great.
Yeah. So back when I started out at the YMCA in Sherwood, Oregon, before I moved up here to Clark. And I was always on, my favorite hobby is weight loss, it seems to be. It's a never-ending hobby, and I have great success. My good friend Norm Welsh has said, Roger, you've lost more weight than anybody else I've ever met because I lose it and gain it, lose it and gain it, right? And so I was upstairs one night at the Y. I was on the treadmill doing my hobby, losing weight. And the front desk came down and said, Roger, we need some help. We're being overrun by members. I said, okay. So we've got two sets of people in the Y. We have the morning people, and they're happy. They're coming in the morning, and they're getting their workout in, and before they go do anything else, and they're just happy.
How are they happy?
They're just, they got up and they're happy people. They're working out.
I guess you'd have to be real happy to get up that early in the morning.
Yeah. And then you've got the night people. They've had a day. And they're not so happy. They're kind of grumpy. They're harder to deal with. And so they came up to get me to help deal with these people. And there was a line. When I got down there was a line. And so they gave me the only job a chaplain can't screw up, and that was scanning people in. So they'd hand me their card, and I'd go, doo-doot, on the little thing, doo-doot, and they'd go by.
Yeah.
Doo-doot. And this guy waiting in line, like at the theater, and he gets up to me, and I go, doo-doot, and he looks at me and goes, Harvard, huh? And I go, yep. I was wearing a Harvard T-shirt.
Okay.
That was my workout gear. I didn't get dressed to go down there. And I go, yep. He goes, you go to Harvard? And I go, nope. And he goes, oh, you're just wearing it so that we think you're better than us. That kind of twerked me a little bit. And I go, no. And he goes, then what's with the T-shirt? Just like that. I go, oh, you want to know about T-shirt? I'll tell you about T-shirt. Now, we got a line of people, right? And I'm just looking this guy straight in the eye, and I go, a number of years ago, I was at lunch with one of my friends, and the waitress came up and said, Roger, can you help my son? Because everybody pretty much knew me in Sherwood. And I said, what's wrong? She goes, well, my son wants to quit school. I said, sure, I'll help him. Bring him on in. So she brought him in the next day, and that's when I met Peter. Now, Peter was a first-generation Korean, American Korean. His parents had immigrated from Korea, and they ended up in Sherwood. I don't know how, whatever. And the thing about Sherwood, Oregon is, and this is the running joke, is we just don't have enough diversity in Sherwood. We don't have enough Presbyterians from Nebraska, right? I mean, we had no diversity. It was crazy. And so come to find out, Peter was getting bullied pretty dang hard just because he was another, right?
Right.
And so I brought Peter into the fold. He started volunteering at the teen center there. And we'd go out on Saturdays to a friend of mine's farm, and we'd muck stalls, stack firewood, pretend we were Sylvester Stallone, chopping wood, getting ready for, crazy stuff, right? Yeah. Well, Peter didn't quit school. He actually ended up graduating. And when he went off to college, his very first day in school, he walked into the student union, bought a T-shirt, wrote a note, and put it in an envelope and sent it home. And sent it to me, and it said, thank you for believing in me when I didn't believe in myself. And Peter graduated from Harvard.
Awesome.
And I looked at the guy, and the guy goes, and walks past. But you know what the interesting thing was? The guy behind him said, that's the most amazing story I ever heard. Wrote me a $1,000 check right there on the spot and says, I want to help you help kids.
So it wasn't about the grump?
No, wasn't about him at all.
It's about the guy behind him.
About the guy behind him. Yeah. Yeah. And then a few years go by, and I end up up here at Clark. And once again, I'm up on the treadmill.
I could see why. Now I could see why Norm used to say that.
Yeah, I'm up on the treadmill doing my hobby. And Sarah Green, she was the membership supervisor at the time. She comes up to me and she's in tears. So I hit the little red stop button. I knew time to be a chaplain. I get off. She doesn't say anything to me. She just takes me downstairs into her office. And she's got a guy on the phone. And that's when I talked to David for the first time. David's daughter, Caitlin, was 12 years old. Beautiful young thing. And she was dying of bone cancer. And all she wanted to do was swim. She had two little sisters, 10 and 8, and all she wanted to do was swim with her family. And I just looked at David on the phone and I said, David, come on in. He goes, I can't afford it. I said, oh, no, you don't understand. I just paid for your membership. You have a free membership to this YMCA. It's on me. All I want to do, I want to see you and your kids come in and swim. So he thanked me and hung up the phone, and I walked over into Eddie's office, which was across the hall from mine at the time, and told him what I did, right? And that's the first time I ever saw Eddie cry. And he had tears in his eyes, and he just turned to his computer, started typing. And he sent an email to his board. And in about 3 minutes, the emails come back. I got this, I got this, I got this. This one's mine. That's the first time he saw me cry, right? I'm going, oh, my God. So Caitlin comes in with her family. She has no hair. She's 12 years old. She's bald.
No.
Her right leg's already been amputated.
Wow.
And they go get in the pool, and I get to watch them. Caitlin gets to be a little girl floating around in the pool with her sisters and her dad. And so I got to know the family, and I went to visit them. And you know what they had in their house? They had a dining room table with 4 chairs. They didn't have a couch. They didn't have a TV. They had beds, dressers, and that. Because her dad had spent all his money trying to save her life, right? Her mom couldn't handle it and left the family. He ended up losing his job because he was taking care of Caitlin.
Wow.
And he was mad. He was mad at God. He was mad. I'd probably be mad at God too.
Yeah.
All that going on. And so I told the board. The board said, we're going to give them the best Thanksgiving we ever gave them. And so they did. On Thanksgiving, they showed up with this huge everything. More than 20 people could eat, right? And it was the best thing ever. It was fun. They were laughing, smiling, having a good time, forgetting about everything else, just living in the moment. 2 weeks later, Caitlin died. And the board asked, what are they going to do for Christmas? I said, they're not going to do anything for Christmas. They don't have anything. And the board says, go get a list. So I go back to David. He's mourning his daughter. I go, I know you're not thinking about this right now, but can you give me a list for presents? So he writes down a list, underpants, socks, clothing. They don't have anything, right? So he's doing the essentials. I take it to the board. The board says, no, that's not good enough, not big enough. Go get more. I went back twice. Okay? On Christmas Eve, we showed up at his house with all the presents wrapped, a tree fully decorated, Christmas dinner.
Wow.
And I got to watch those girls just open presents. Right? But you'd think it would stop there. The story doesn't end. David was going to move to Denver because he knew some people there where he could stay. He was losing his house.
Yeah.
Okay? So I called a friend of mine who was in Denver, said, this guy's coming to Denver. He needs a job. And so my friend met with him, gave him a job. I've lost track of that family now. But the last time I talked to him, he wasn't mad anymore. And they were doing okay. That's that whole thing with our, once again, right? I'm with you all. Yeah. Once you grab on, you don't let go.
Yeah.
Most people forget. Anybody that's gone through trauma in a hospital or whatever, everybody's there that when you're there. And then you leave the hospital and everybody forgets about you.
Bingo.
Right? I mean, we watched that with Katrina and New Orleans.
Right.
3 months after the fact, they weren't even in the news anymore. But all those people were still hurting.
Houseless,
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, we've got tons and tons of stories. I've got a video of, I think in one of these episodes coming up, we're going to talk to Demi. And there's a video with her in it that is very powerful, starting out with how she was when she first started. We actually filmed it. And then a number of years later, we filmed her again.
Right.
And it's really powerful. Josh.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going through, and the thing of it is when you show people these stories, when you tell people these stories and the things that the YMCA has done, I don't know how many times I've told the staff, we're not competing with 24-hour fitness or Golds, we're not them. Yeah, we got a pool. We got the best pool in Clark County.
Right.
We got a gymnasium, great gymnasium. We got the best weight room. We have the largest workout studio in Vancouver.
Amazing basketball court.
Amazing basketball court. But none of those things are the end all.
Right.
The pool is just a tool we use to change lives. The basketball court is just a place where we teach kids honesty, love, respect, responsibility, and service, right? We go upstairs to the weight room, and it's not just a healthy body, but it's mind and spirit, Yeah, we got these great pools. We also feed thousands of kids in the summer that are at risk for hunger.
Right.
We give absolutely free swim lessons away and go out into the community and do safety around water. We give away thousands of dollars to kids so they can go to camp, All of these things that we do. Did I mention we had a pool?
I think you said something about it.
Okay. So, I mean, that's who we are.
Yeah.
But all of that stuff takes philanthropic money, right?
Mm-hmm.
It takes somebody coming alongside going, I don't have the time to actually help you with that, or I'm not the kind of person I want to get my boots dirty with that.
Yeah.
But I got a couple extra bucks. I want to partner with you. Because without them, we couldn't do what we do. And the job that we do here, the people here, is an important job, and they're good at it, and they change lives every single day. They save lives every single day, and people just don't know it.
Yeah.
So somebody's got to go out and tell a story. Somebody's got to say, hey, this is what's happened. So maybe I'll tell a Caitlin story, or a Peter story, or a Josh story, or a Lloyd and Fallon story, or whoever, right? People just need to hear it.
Yeah.
Because we're not a country club.
Yeah, and the thing about a changed life, the thing about when somebody helps you out of the mud, when somebody grabs you and stands with you there and then walks you out, right?
Yeah.
Like David,
Yeah.
for you. He'll never forget that.
No.
There'll never come a moment in his life where he forgets Roger and the YMCA board who helped him through the loss of his daughter.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Sarah about this the other day. Even in moments of being totally pissed off, right, about life and circumstances, and even at the person, I said, we were talking about a specific individual that had really helped me in a big way, like kind of changed my life. And I was kind of mad at this person right at the time. And I said, but you know what? I'll never forget what that person did for me.
Right.
Because even though I'm mad at them now for something, and I'll probably get over it, even though I'm mad at them now, they changed my life.
Right.
And I'll never forget it.
Right.
And that's what we're doing here on a daily basis.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's one of the reasons we're doing this podcast, is to help people educate them on what we're doing. Right.
Right.
This isn't easy work.
No.
One of the reasons I was walking through my whole suicide thing, like I said, I had death by 1,000 cuts. I told you a few stories of a 12-year-old girl who died of bone cancer that I got, in the family. And that's it's one right now. I live in trauma.
Right. You're literally helping people through their trauma.
Every day.
Right.
Across this entire association.
Yeah.
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 Every day. And if I had gotten to the point where I wasn't able to offload it well enough, and it was building and building and building until I needed some help myself. Yeah.
And you needed help out of the mud.
I needed help. I was stuck.
Because
we
all do.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what we're here to help each other. We're here to help everyone. We're here to help the viewers. We're here to help, here at the Y. So it's all, and it's all it is a circular thing, right?
It is.
Thanks to the work you've done here and the relationships you've built here in doing the work you do, you built the kind of relationships with people who would then come and help you.
Absolutely.
Out of the mud.
Yeah. And that's the importance of our chaplain training program.
Yeah.
Right. We have 14 chaplains ready to go pretty quick here. It's a 2-year program, so obviously if I'm saying pretty quick, that means they've been at it for almost 2 years, and just being trained up in chaplaincy. And they'll be able to be released out to take some of the burden off.
It's great. So let's go back to the campaign itself. So what's the goal? When's it end? Like, what's the time frame?
Sure.
Give us some details.
So it started November 1st. I think you're seeing this like November 14th or something. It goes till November 22nd. All we're trying to do is raise $25,000 in this particular campaign.
Okay.
That's it, across the entire association. And we do that, we'll be successful.
How many Ys in the association? Or how many?
We've got, what is it? We've got Sherwood, Beaverton, Clark are our big ones. Then we've got Southeast, West, Camp Collins, and then a bunch of child development centers, daycare that the Y runs. So, it's not a heavy lift.
But it's a substantial amount of places.
It's a substantial amount of places. We have a goal at 25,000. I'd love to blow it out of the water.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Honestly. But our people coming out of the pandemic have been working so hard at changing lives, they've never really gotten back into what it is to tell a story and to go out and say, hey, can you come alongside and help? So we're retraining. That's what it is. We're just retraining.
Yeah.
And I know these people, they'll do really well. They'll do fine.
Yeah.
They're good people.
It would be kind of a fun thing for maybe our viewers to do is if you're comfortable typing in the comments, I think it'd be cool if you just shared a little bit of your story.
Yeah.
Like, how have you been impacted by the Y? Maybe it can be in a couple sentences. It can be a short little paragraph or something. Let's try not to write a book. I don't know how YouTube feels about, books being written on comment sections, but, or, tell us your story. Like, come into the Y. Tell us how we've...
Let us interview you.
Yeah. I'd love to see that. I think that's let us interview you. We're going to start having some guests, right?
Yeah, we are. We're going to start with having guests and, so we're going to put a Y up in Ridgefield.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. That just means when I say we're already in Ridgefield. We're running programs. We're doing day camps. We're doing after school enrichment. We're doing active older adult stuff. You name it. We're already there.
Yeah. Without a building.
Without a building.
Yeah.
we're just getting ready to put a building in. So, I mean, we'll be up in Ridgefield talking about the things we're doing in Ridgefield. We'll do a podcast up there. We'll do a podcast out of Camp Collins, where I always have told people over the years, Camp Collins is where the magic happens and friends last forever. We'll have these things because it's the amazing stories that come out of all of this.
Yeah.
And, we just need people to come alongside and partner with us.
We do.
Whether you're a corporation or individual, a group, whatever. We just need people to come alongside and help us do things so that we can continue. It's not about us. It's about the community.
Right.
If it was about us, whatever. Right?
Yeah. I've heard you say before, too, you've used the phrase, the why without walls. Mm-hmm. What does that mean? Like, if you could describe that to the audience, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, everybody always thinks that, you need a building, right? Well, it started a number of years ago when we were patting ourselves on the back. We feed thousands of kids in the summer, and they were coming here to have it done.
Right.
And a little voice up there says, well, that's really great. You're asking people that are starving to cross a desert to come to you as an oasis. Why don't you cross the desert and take the oasis to them?
That's good, Roger.
Brilliant. Okay. We got a bus. We have 4 locations right now that we've identified, and with more on the way. And we feed kids all over Vancouver. We do safety around water. I don't care. You show me a pool, we can do safety around water classes with our lifeguards.
Yeah.
We partner with different organizations, whatever. Yeah. We take our stuff to them. This is just a building. We're not a building.
Yeah.
You give me a flat piece of ground, I'll do a soccer camp on it.
There you go.
Right?
Yeah.
You give me a piece of a park, we'll do yoga.
Yeah.
I don't care.
And that's part of the philosophy that we're trying to spread is, a lot of these gyms that people are used to. And I know the Y for a long time has been thought of in that same category.
Right.
But these gyms that you're used to going to, you have a membership, you walk in that gym, you work out, you walk out, that's it.
That's it.
And that in order to get an experience at one of these gyms, you have to go there.
Yeah.
But that's not the case with the Y, and that's what we're trying to educate people on.
Exactly.
Is we are in the community, making change in the community.
Yeah.
We have a great facility. This is an amazing facility, no doubt.
Right.
The one we're in right now at Clark.
Right.
We talked about it. I think I mentioned we have a basketball court.
Yeah, I think so.
We have some amazing things here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's beautiful here.
Yeah.
And it's not everything that the Y is about.
No, that's the thing. I mean, you're talking about an organization. Okay, you were talking about the other gyms, right? They sell you a membership. They don't care if you show up or not. Right? As a matter of fact, they prefer you didn't.
Yeah, because it
doesn't fill up and they can buy more, right?
Yeah, if everyone was there that had a membership.
Yeah. Forget it. Yeah. The Y, you don't show up for 3 days a week. You're getting a phone call. Matt, we haven't seen you. Is everything okay?
Right.
It's crazy. We're about relationship. We're about changing lives.
Yeah.
That's what we're about. Spirit, mind, and body.
Yeah.
For all.
Yeah. So that's what we're campaigning, really.
Yeah.
Is that story. I mean, yes, we want to raise money. We need to raise money in order to continue our effort.
Right.
But we're campaigning the fact that we're out there changing lives. In
Absolutely.
The community. I mean,
so your membership pays the light bill. The adaptive swim lessons for the kids that have autism or whatever disability, because the way we did it, we knew that the parents of kids with disabilities spend a lot of money on that disability.
Absolutely.
They do. They can't afford a private swim lesson. But they can't put their kid in a group swim lesson because of their disability.
Right.
So I said, well, how much is a private swim lesson? How much is a group swim lesson? Why don't we give them private swim lessons for the price of a group swim lesson?
Right.
They said, we can't do that. I go, why? And they said, because we'll lose money. I said, you're not picking up what I'm laying down.
Yeah.
I'll pay the difference. I will pay the difference. So you're getting the price for a private swim lesson. So you're covering your cost aquatics.
Right.
But this family is getting what they need.
Yeah.
So that they can become whole, strong again.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And we do that through raising money. Because we're not getting it from the light bill.
No. And it's necessary right now. People are struggling. You know, the economy's hard. Like it's a hard time we live in.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But there are those of us who can be generous still.
Yeah.
And that's the point of it is let's show people it's worth your generosity in this place to give so that our community can thrive.
Well, the power of the widow's mite. Yeah, it's really great when somebody shows up and says, hey, I'm going to give you $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, right?
Sure. Not everyone can do that.
No. But you know what? 1,000 people giving $20 is the same as that person giving 20,000.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
10,000 people giving $20 can do it a lot.
Yeah, it can.
Okay? It doesn't, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is it's not all about the big giver.
Yeah.
And it's not all about giving so much that it's killing you.
Right.
Give what you can. Be a cheerful giver. Know you're doing something good.
Yeah.
And that you're changing lives, saving lives in a lot of cases.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, the power of the story, the power of philanthropy, because when that money runs out, we have to stop.
Right.
Right?
And we don't want to stop.
We don't want to stop.
I
don't want to stop. No. So that's where we're at. So I really do. I hope and pray that if you're watching this and you haven't partnered with us yet, that you'll consider it. You won't be sorry. That's all.
I agree. And there'll be a link.
Yeah.
And so you can, if you feel compelled to give, there'll be a way for you to do that. If you just link in the description. So
yeah.
Well, man, I feel good.
Do you?
Yeah, I feel like this was it was good to talk about. It was good to remind ourselves of the things that we do here at the Y, especially when life is hard and things are, I mean, we're here pulling people out of the mud.
Yeah. Yeah, we are.
It's good to kind of, zoom out and say, look at all the lives that are standing on the riverbank that have been pulled out.
Exactly.
So thanks for sharing those stories.
Well,
I know there's 100 more that you could share, but those were very impactful.
Thank you.
So yeah.
Love you.
Yeah, I love you too. So this has been the Muddy Boots Podcast. We, as always, would love for you to subscribe, like, make a comment. I really do think it would be great if some of you who have stories of how the Y has affected you in a positive way, that you would just, feel bold enough to maybe just leave a couple lines of what that story was, or the Y helped me with this. If it's, compelling enough and you want to reach out to us, we'd love to have people on
absolutely.
On here that have really experienced some massive life change through the YMCA. I think it'd be good for you to come and tell your story. I think it'd be good for us to hear it, and good for the audience to hear what we're a part of. So, if that's you, just let us know, reach out, and we'd love to get with you. Other than that, do you have something else?
No, I'm just knocking
You're
it
just
out.
knocking on the
let's
table.
do it.
Did you like this table?
I did. So Matt had me in this
clanking around on the table the whole time, just so you know.
I was?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good.
I mean, I like the shirt.
Yeah, thanks.
But she's been clanking the shirt all. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead. Matt brought this table out.
Matt brought the table out, and so I didn't have to get in the slouch chair.
Oh, yeah. It was the slouch chair that you didn't want to be a part of.
I don't like that. No.
But you have support with your hands. You feel good about it?
I feel good, yeah.
So maybe we'll keep this.
Maybe.
I mean,
let me know. Does it look better this way? I don't know.
we'll at least keep it for one more episode.
And I don't know. I'll try not to do this. Was this annoying?
Well, we can maybe I'll put a backbeat so that people can something to enjoy.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Yeah, we should probably sign off at this point.
Yeah, I think so. We're done.
All right, we love you.
Bye.